Hono is a new framework that is faster than Express.js. It was claimed 3.5 times faster than Express.js. There are also many built-in middleware programs that are ready to use. In this video, we are going to create a login authentication and test it in a Postman tools. The first thing that you need to do is to create a new fresh project. So in here, you will have a different options to choose. This is the templates that have a lot of variation. So you can also head over to the documentation to see more about this. But in this case, I will use Bun because Bun is another JavaScript runtime that claim it's faster than Node.js. So yeah, I will use Bun. So head over to the terminal again, and also I will choose Bun. I will select yes, and I will select the Bun package manager as well. And also, in case you want to install Bun in your computer, especially in Windows, you can copy this command and then just paste in a PowerShell. Okay. So in here, we already succeed to set up on a framework using Bun. So we can run by Bun dev, and we can check it in the browser. Yes, it works. So in here, this is the default of the code, the boilerplate. So yeah, in this case, I will create a two endpoints, which is login and also the protected API, which is the index for the example. So before that, I will head over to the official documentation and check the middleware. So there are a lot of middlewares that really useful for your project. One of them is the logger. So I will use this. After that, we can just write our first endpoint. That will be the login endpoint. So yeah, we will retrieve two variable, which is email and password. So in order to validate the endpoint, it means that every time we hit post, we should validate it whether the body is already right or not. So we're gonna use another library called Zot Hono validator. So we're gonna install it by copy the command, paste in the terminal, and yeah, from right here we can import the library. And we can import the validator and also the Z from Zot as well. And yeah, we can create our new schema because this is just the for the practice. You can always write this schema in another folder for the best practice. And we're gonna run the requirements and also the rules for this. For example, I will decide to set the minimum of characters by 8, and also I will apply some regex for regular expressions. Yeah, so this means it should be minimum 8 characters, at least one letter, and also one number and one special character. So we are ready to input the validator. So we will use the JSON because the body that we are going to send is the JSON formed. Also, we're gonna put the schema. Oops. We'll write it in the asynchronous, and also after that, we should be check the password whether it's true or not by querying to database. But for this case, I will not use the database. So I will pretend this will checking the password manually. So if the password is wrong, we're going to throw error, and we should import the library as well that already built in. It's called HTTP exception, and we can write the HTTP exception that contains the status code and also the custom messages. And if password is correct, we can continue to the creating a payload. This should be retrieved from the email and also the email from the database. I mean, yeah. So in this case, I will type it manually from the body, and also you can type also the expire time. We will set it just for like 5 minutes. And after that, we're gonna sign to the JSON web token that surprisingly it includes in their built-in library. So we're gonna import it. It's called Hono slash GWT, and we're gonna import the sign. And after that, we can create a new variable. It's called token, and we're gonna assign the token. We're gonna put the payload, and also here is the secret actually, but we want to create a new file which is called .env for the variables, and we're gonna write it in here, and you are going to write whatever you want for the secret. And in here we can retrieve the value using bun env and secret, or it will be string. So since this is just a practice, if it's actual project, we should be store the token in client, right? But we're gonna set to cookie in here, just like we're gonna import set cookie from Hono, and we can import the get and set cookie. So in here, we're gonna set the token. What's the name? And the third argument should be the token itself. So we can return JSON. And yeah, we're done with the first endpoint, which is login. So we can test it first by running bun dev. So I'm gonna using Postman as API tools. So I'm going to write the same API and set it to the row and JSON, of course. And we're gonna test to make it wrong first. So we're gonna hit send. Oh, sorry. So yeah, the response is really good, and they provide the really clear message and detail. So we will use the right password for it, and it should be return the payload and the token. And after that, we are going to create the one more endpoint for the index. So we're gonna use the app.use. So yeah, this is the middleware that it should be restricted whenever you enter it. So we can type index and asterisk. So this means any API after slash index slash, it will be restricted without the token inserted. So for this, we can use the built-in library again. It's called better auth. So yeah, in here we can write bear auth, and this will be the verified token. It should be asynchronous. And we can check whether the token is correct or not. And we will use the get cookie method to retrieve our secret or our token. Yeah. And after that, we can create a get endpoint. For example, movies. We can list all of the movies. So we're gonna return the JSON. And yeah, it's done. We can test it by head over to the Postman and create a new request. And I'm gonna test the index movies endpoint for the first. And it said unauthorized. So we need to retrieve the token first. And we're going to hit again, copy the token and paste in the header. And after that, yeah, we successfully retrieve the token and access the index movies API and endpoint. So yeah, that's it from my video. And if you want to request in the future what video that I should make, please comment down below. And thank you very much. Have a good day.